It should have been. It
that is kind of
nitpicking
on the NFL.
When their season was over, they were on the plane back. He wants to, just celebrate the fact that he can have a drink again.
The fact that the Cleveland Browns season is over.
Yeah, probably.
That they don't have to do
the
this
NFL
anymore.
just comes down on him like that. Like that was just a very ridiculous stance for them to take. So I think he's going to come back, and I hope he rubs it in Goodell's face. And
Badell. We're just going to call him Badell.
Yeah. One more reason to get rid of him.
Jerry Jones is working on it.
Hopefully.
Jerry Jones is the thing that's keeping his extension from going through.
Good.
Like Cousins' Browns 4+ wins this season.
Goodell.
I said they get 6 wins.
I know you have. I don't subscribe to either
6 is
of you.
fair. I think 4 to 6 is exactly what's going to happen.
They played the Jets, so that's 1.
Yeah,
there's one.
Yeah.
They played the Bengals twice.
Now, that might be the 3 right there.
And they get the Ravens again.
Well, Ravens defense is.
I don't know. Corey Coleman concerns me because he was a real weapon.
Yeah, but I mean, I believe in David Njoku enough.
Okay. It's just, it is the Browns. If there's anybody that's going to let you down, it's usually them.
All right, and we're going to skip over the Cowboys because the team did.
It was trying to get out of that.
No. Broncos 42, Cowboys 17.
Man, Cowboys secondary got exposed.
They didn't get exposed. They're bad.
That is just
they are just bad. The Giants just didn't have.
I mean, I don't want to sit here and tell you that Chidobe Awuzie is great, but when he got taken out, the floodgates opened.
Yeah.
And I mean, Simeon is passable. He's not. I don't think he's anything special.
He is.
I think Simeon's better than I.
He's better than I thought he was going to be.
Simeon,
I thought he was going to be pretty trash, but he's
I
pretty
thought so
decent.
too. But I saw him do things that his drop back looks so good. The way he stands in the pocket, he doesn't look nervous.
That's true.
And
but
even when he doesn't
look that accurate either. He's throwing it where he should be, but he's not. It's not any kind of pinpoint accuracy.
But he's not leading receivers, and he's not trying to do things he can't.
That's true.
Can we not skip over the fact that he looks like Peyton Manning's bastard son? Did anybody else see that? No one else.
He kind of.
I can see it. The forehead.
When I was looking at it, I kind of thought he looked.
Talking, I'm just like.
Well, who's the mom? If he's.
I like how humble he is.
If Peyton Manning is the father, is Sam Bradford the mom? Because he kind of looks like Sam Bradford too.
I don't think that'll work unless Sam Bradford's got something he needs to tell the rest of us.
Well, I mean, Tim Tebow is the.
Christ.
No, he's the loved. No, what was it? Oh, Tim Tebow. I used to make this joke. I thought it was funny. Apparently, it's not. If Tim Tebow and John
go for it anyway.
If Tim Tebow and John Elway had an illegitimate love child, would it be named Jim Elbow?
Oh my god.
Dude, that's like a dad joke.
Yeah.
Not even a good one.
Okay.
But
I thought it was funny.
I mean, it is definitely a dad joke.
Jim Elbow. Anyways.
God.
Cowboys looked absolutely dreadful. Dak Prescott had 2 interceptions, which I don't even mind. First time in his career that one's been brought back for a touchdown. Mm-hmm. So if we take that off the board,
he was just trying
it's
to make
35-17. It doesn't seem as bad. It's still a bad loss.
I mean, not just the plays, obviously, because we can direct that, but did it feel like to you at a certain point the Cowboys just seemed to give up?
I saw that in Zeke. I
thought
Zeke, he gave up early.
Zeke, I feel, got frustrated, but the thing is, I was questioning this because Zeke's never had to play it and run at that kind of an altitude before, so I didn't know how tired he was going to be because I knew from Ohio State there were a couple games where games get out of control. He's got quit in him at times where he's just like, you know what? If no one else is going to do their jobs, F them, whatever.
Yeah, and the other issue,
but I mean, not just him. I saw quit in other players too. That they just looked like at a certain point in that game, they just were like, I'm not even into this anymore.
The only players
that's not new from him.
No, that's why I've been saying, trade him for Aaron Donald. We'll take him. Do it. But in my opinion, there are only 3 players that I can look at and say that I didn't see any quit in them, and that was Dak Prescott, Jason Witten, and Cole Beasley.
Yeah.
The offensive line
expect
looked
that
like they
out of
gave
Witten.
up.
Yeah, well, yeah, and that was surprising too. I don't know. It could have just been the game plan that Denver had, because Denver came out with the intention to hit Dallas in the mouth right off the bat, and they did. And it seemed like Dallas was expecting to play a Giants team again, and they weren't.
No, I don't, and I still don't believe they are. I didn't think Denver was that good, and I still don't think they are.
I had them in the basement in the West. I don't anymore. I have San Diego in the basement.
Oh yeah, San Diego is the worst team in the West.
Yeah,
I
Denver's
still think
defense is still very good. Their offense is.
It looks decent, but we'll see. How long can Simeon be consistent? I mean, he was one of my surprises this week, was Simeon's performance.
I mean, and in all honesty, playing against the Cowboys secondary, which is Chidobe Awuzie, a rookie, Byron Jones, who's playing safety for the first time in a while, Nolan Carroll, who I think was just sent over from the Eagles to sabotage the Cowboys. So, I mean, it's not they lost a lot in the secondary, a lot of time, a lot of cohesion. Not that Morris Claiborne was all that great. He was okay. Brandon Carr was okay. Orlando Scandrick and all that. They played together.
Mm-hmm.
This secondary has not.
True.
And the one quote-unquote test that they got has been the Giants, which we see how putrid they look. So
their offense is terrible.
I think Cowboys defense gets much better here on out.
Yeah.
Just because they've been there. They've got that slap in the face that they needed. Kind of like what the Patriots went through with Kansas City.
Yeah.
They got the slap in the face, and now they're here to slap back. I honestly...
I think they'll bounce back, but definitely cause for concern with that secondary. Any elite quarterbacks that they go up against, they should be worried.
Concerned.
Right. No.
I mean, elite quarterbacks that can... My other concern that I would take from it if I was a Cowboys fan is just... it was an interesting situation to put Dax into. He's never really had to play from behind that much before.
No, and I think he handled himself pretty well.
He did, but there were also times where errant balls, it looked like he was a little bit more flustered because of it. That being said, I would be flustered too if Von Miller was running at me.
Well, no, that's not even it. The big issue that I saw why Dak Prescott looked so angry on a couple of times is because Dez Bryant doesn't look for the damn ball.
Well, he should have known that. There's plenty of video to show that.
There were touchdowns that well, maybe not touchdowns necessarily, but big plays much farther beyond the first down marker that Dez Bryant just had no idea was coming, even though he should have.
Well, yeah, you'd think the chemistry would be there. Something isn't right there.
I think the problem is Dak Prescott is a quarterback to try and, not lose a game by making stupid plays, and he's been told try and get the ball to Dez more. And Dez is the I want to win it, I'm going to try and win it right now kind of wide receiver. And that's the wrong combination.
Mm-hmm.
That's why Brett Favre was so great. He had the I'm going to try and win it with my arm, and his receivers, I'm going to try and win it with my hands.
Yeah.
So they were on the same
Breaking my
page.
hands with
Yeah.
those Favre balls.
Yeah, so that's... I just don't understand why Dez Bryant just still runs his mouth so much. Like,
No.
how old are you now? Like,
You think we would
all
see
ego.
maturity at some point take a hold, and
Yeah.
we see it at times, but
he's not great enough to run his mouth like that. Like that whole thing with him and Josh Norman, the commercial.
Mm-hmm.
Josh Norman's right. He's right. He's a better corner than Dez is wide receiver.
I'd agree. Yeah.
Maybe not potential and talent wise, but effort, working. I know Josh Norman runs his mouth a lot, but he backs it up.
Yeah, and Dez, I don't know, used to, but I'm not seeing it so far this season, certainly.
Didn't see it last season either.
Yeah.
I mean, I know he was hurt for a while, but it seems like he feels like there's a vendetta against him because of that no-catch call against Green Bay in the playoffs a couple years ago. Like, I don't know if that just like triggered him, but like something's going on, and I don't like it. And we had the discussion: should the Giants trade Odell Beckham for Aaron Donald? If the Rams came to the Cowboys and said, "Hey, we think we are one great wide receiver away. Would you take Aaron Donald for?" Yes. Don't even let them finish. You know what's coming. Yes. Do you have the paperwork? I have a pen.
Yeah.
All right. So that's where I'm at with Dez, and I know a lot of Cowboys fans love him. He's cool. He throws up the X and all that. No, get over it. He's not that good. All right. We spent way too much time on that, but naturally because it was one of our teams. Now going on, Panthers 9, Bills 3. Bills played a great game. They really did.
It was a defensive game, and very, very even game. Bills could have won that.
For a team that's tanking, they did phenomenal.
Yeah,
It was a good defensive game by them, that's for sure. I mean, how many times did they sack Cam? I mean,
Oh, I don't know. Too many because I had Cam on my fantasy team.
I can't help either.
I should have started Carson Wentz.
I mean, that being said, they did. I mean, they did what they needed to do to keep themselves in a game. And had Zay Jones caught that ball, they could have won that game. They had a legitimate chance to win, and the Bills almost could have been 2-0.
Yeah.
On the road, it was a very impressive performance from the entire squad for what it's worth.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially for a team that got rid of like everything.
They got rid of a ton of what people perceived as weapons. Obviously, when new coaching staffs come in,
We don't need Woods. We don't need Watkins. We don't need Gillislee.
You mean the Rams?
What?
Like, you mean the Rams? Because that's pretty much the entire Rams receiving core right there.
Yeah.
Woods
Came
and
from Buffalo, yeah.
Watkins.
Yeah.
Like, they also... Or no, it was the Chargers that have Cordell Jones now. Half the team moved over to L.A. in one way or another.
yeah.
Anything you want to say about this, Dan?
Probably the players that stood out most in offense, of course, were McCoy, Matthews, and Clay. Just frustrating week for a Bills fan when you see,
I wouldn't be frustrated. If there's ever such thing as a good loss, this is it.
Again,
Well, that front line is going to be a problem for a lot of people. Shaq Lawson looks good.
So
in there.
good.
I mean,
so good.
Think about that line just itself between who they have with Darius, Lawson, Hughes. They're going to be problems for people. And the more that group starts to gel, the bigger problem they are going to be for people. And what's the recipe that the Giants beat the Patriots with?
I was just going to
Put
say.
pressure on the quarterback. And if that line can do it, they're going to make people like Brady very uncomfortable. And when Brady gets uncomfortable, he panics.
I was just going to say, is it just me, or do the Bills seem like they're one really good wide receiver away from beating the Patriots?
we said that.
Yeah, I think that defense is getting to that point because they bring pressure quick. They will not bend on your run. I mean, they had 3 goal line stands where they stuffed Carolina.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's not like Carolina doesn't have running backs that
They got a
couldn't put in there.
240. They got a 245 to 260, depending on the weak pound quarterback.
Well, yeah, and then they have McCaffrey, who he can run. You could flip it out in an option. You could have him jump down the side, but they still any kind of trick they ran with McCaffrey was snuffed out, even at the goal line.
And what's his name? The other running back, former Oregon guy.
The only one I can think is Stewart on their team.
Yeah, Jonathan Stewart.
Jonathan Stewart, yeah.
Yeah,
They
he's
had
a good.
Tolbert for a while, but
Yeah, he's a good running back. I mean, he's older.
yeah.
The idea was to bring him in to help McCoy on the critical third downs.
No, for Carolina.
Oh, Tolbert.
Yeah,
No,
for
yeah,
Tolbert.
yeah.
No, we're talking about the Panthers.
Yeah, no, he's never been, he's never been that great running back.
He's a fullback.
But I mean, he's good to be in there, and especially someone who can give McCaffrey kind of a way of the land. I mean, he has never been anything special, but you can't say that he hasn't been here for the long haul.
Now we're going back to Jonathan Stewart. Okay. Yeah, no. So what they want to do, it seems, is they want to have a running game for everything. And McCaffrey up the middle is, his best work, running up the middle. Jonathan Stewart going to the outside, that's always been his thing. And then you got Cam that can take in between.
Yeah.
Like
Not to
they're set up.
mention, I mean,
they're set up in holes 0 through 9. They don't have a weakness there.
Not to
They should
mention
be
you.
worried about their lack of scoring, though.
Yeah.
Bills' defense is good, but they should have been able to